So today we are going to be working with Antonio, and the two interventions that I chose to do with Antonio are gardening, which relates to leisure and possibly volunteer exploration, and then planning public transportation routes with maps, and that relates to community mobility. So the reason that I chose the first occupation of gardening is because it just allows Antonio to participate in something that could be intrinsically motivating to him, and that kind of helps with his occupational balance. It will provide a low stress activity, and it could help manage his symptoms of schizophrenia and substance use disorder because it gives him the just right challenge to encourage the use of his cognitive skills and just allow him to participate in a low stress task that can make him happy. And this can also relate to volunteer opportunities because he will be moving into a group home, and this group home encourages the use of going out into the community and doing something productive. So if he enjoys the task of gardening, the therapist will encourage him to look into this as a volunteer opportunity because there are many garden centers around him. One of them is the Gethsemane Garden Center in Chicago, and that will be near his group home. So that's just one thing that he could do to be productive, which will also help him encourage occupational balance and just kind of give him independence within his daily routine. So the second intervention consists of mapping out how Antonio will use public transportation to get to different places in the community. And this fits with the OTPF because it's community mobility. And because Antonio doesn't drive, this will just give him an opportunity to attend various community things and outings once he is in his new group home. So this activity really challenges Antonio's cognitive skills because it requires sequencing and planning. But these will be really important because it will help him with his independence in going out and doing productive things, going to the grocery store, or anything that he would want to do, and he'll be able to do that independently if he can map out where he wants to go. So both of these occupations will really just increase Antonio's quality of life because they will give him more independence, they'll help him increase his skills, and it will help him with self-responsibility, more access to community activities, and also encourage social participation out in the community. So these interventions are really designed to help Antonio thrive in his new environment of a group home versus where he's currently at with board and care. Hi Antonio, I'm Rachel. I'm going to be your occupational therapist today.
Hello.
So today we're going to be doing a gardening activity because I remembered in our last session you mentioned that you enjoyed gardening with your mom when you were younger. So I figured this would be a good way to start a leisure occupation, which is really important because, you know, it'll just help give you something to de-stress and maybe have some motivation, and you'll also be responsible for it yourself. So it'll be a good way of, you know, making a routine and keeping up with something. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to give you all of your materials. All right. So what's the first thing you want to do?
I guess put some dirt in the pot.
Yep, there you go. And I got a spoon right there for you.
This might take a minute.
So what things did you like to garden with your mom when you were younger?
Just like different flowers, some vegetables sometimes.
Do you think this will be a good thing to keep up with? Do you think that you'll enjoy something like this?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right.
Really not much to do here.
You could probably keep going a little bit. All right. So here is our first plant that we can put in there. You'll just have to make sure that you leave enough room for your other one.
Side there. Takes time.
There you go.
That'll do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Might have to dig a little deeper. You want me to hold it like
Yeah.
that?
Alright.
Perfect. Alright. Do you want to add any more dirt on the top, or do you think it's okay?
Let's add some more dirt.
Okay. Alright, so, one of the important things about keeping up with your plant is making sure you water it. That way it doesn't die. So I went ahead and brought some water so you can go ahead and water it now. And with these, you just kind of need to make sure that they just get enough. It doesn't have to be a whole lot. Just make sure that the dirt around them is damp. So I know we've talked about in the past how you kind of need some reminders for different things. So I know it may seem a little hard to keep up with, but I brought you a little pamphlet about this specific type of flower. So it just gives you some care tips. So basically you just need to make sure you water it at least once a week. So for you, it may be easier just to do it, just to pick one day. So maybe every Monday morning when you wake up, the first thing you do is water your plant. And that way, once you've done it, you know you're good for the rest of the week. Does that sound like a good thing?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So like I said, you just need to pour about an inch of water. Just make sure they have enough. And you can just pick a place where you want, maybe in your room and inside the house that you can keep these in, or if you wanted to keep them out here on the deck, and that way everyone else that lives here could see them too. But that just makes sure that they have enough sunlight.
Okay.
And they also like cool weather, so since it's pretty cool out right now, I think they'll be doing pretty good in the springtime. All right, so how'd you feel about this activity?
I like doing it. I think it'll be a good idea.
Yeah. Do you think you'll be able to keep up with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So if you like this, you could find other plants that you could plant, or another thing to think about, since you're going to be moving into that group home soon, is that you're going to need some productive occupations. So something to think about is maybe volunteering at like a garden center. If you enjoy this, and that would be a fun way to volunteer for a place. So I found a garden center near your group home, and it's called Gethsemane Garden Center, and that would be a really good place to volunteer and get some hours and go out into the community and have some fun. So you could think about that, and we'll talk about it in the future.
Okay,
If that
great.
sounds good. All right. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right. Thanks for participating. Hi, Antonio. It's nice to see you again.
Hello.
So today, since you're getting closer to your move to your new home, we're going to be doing some mapping of the public transportation. Does that sound okay?
Mhm.
All right. Since I know you don't drive, public transportation is going to be a really good way to help you get around. And since you live in such a big city, you've got the option of taking the bus or taking the train. But today I just printed out the bus map, so I figured we could work on that and just talk about some places where you would want to go in the community.
Okay.
All right, so I've already marked on here where your new home is going to be. So that's on Keystone Avenue, which you're actually right next to a bus stop. It's bus number 53.
Okay.
So you already have your starting point right here. So where is one place in the community that you think that you would like to go and possibly take the bus to go there?
Probably the grocery store.
The grocery store? Okay. Do you know about on the map where your grocery store is?
I think it's like up here, around here.
Okay. So let's find the street. I'm going to go ahead and give you this marker.
Is it Gregory? Right there.
All right. So let's look what's right next to it. And so, can you tell me what bus stop that is?
75.
All right. So you're going to be getting on your bus right here, and you're going to be taking it to the 75 bus stop. So I brought these papers so that you could write it down, and that just kind of serves. I also have some pens over here if you want to write it in pen. And that just will kind of be a good reminder for you so that you kind of remember where you're going when you want to go to the grocery store.
Okay.
All right. So where's another place that you think you might want to go?
Maybe like a coffee shop.
Okay. So do you have a specific coffee shop in mind?
Yeah, I think it's on Lawrence Avenue.
Okay. So Lawrence, let's look. Do you know about where it is on here?
It's about right there.
All right. And what bus number is that? That goes with it.
Looks like 83.
All right. I'm getting the hang of this. So have you thought any more about the volunteering thing that we talked about at the garden center?
Yes, I think it'd be actually a really good idea.
Okay, that's awesome. That's really good to hear. So the garden shop is on Clark Street, and I don't think it's too far from you. So let's try to find it on this map. I think it's right over here. Alright, if you want to mark it, it's right over here. And that is by bus stop number 84. Alright. So, how do you feel about doing all this?
Pretty good.
Good? Okay. I know it can be kind of overwhelming looking at all these different roads and stuff, but, you know, we can practice it before you actually do it on your own, and that way you get more familiar with it. But do you think using the bus is going to be a way that you're going to get around a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know at your new house, you know, you'll have to, like, get around in the community and stuff, so
Right.
that'll be a really good way.
Mhm.
But another thing I wanted to show you before we end is this app that I found that is for the Chicago transportation. So if you want to go ahead and get your phone, and I'll just show you this app really quick. So it's called CTA Bus Routes. And you don't have to download it if you don't want to yet. But
This one.
Yep. So if you download it, you can click on any bus route and it'll tell you what times it goes and if there's any delays or anything. And since you're right next to a bus stop, you know, you can just save number 53 as your favorite, and then it'll just show you, you know, the different places that it stops and stuff. So that would be a really good way to, you know, serve as a reminder, and just in case you don't get lost and you always have your phone and it can, you know, tell you where you need to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. So, do you have any questions about this? Any concerns?
Nope.
All right. Well, in the future, we'll practice this to make sure you feel comfortable before you move there. So, all right. Thanks for participating.
Mhm.